Welcome back to Inscryption. We took a loss. I'm looking at what we have ahead of us. That looks like the boss of, I think this is the swamp, right? Was it the swamp or the marsh? I don't remember what they call it, is what I'm getting at. So on the left we have a drawn card and then the mycologists, whom I don't understand yet. In the middle we have a class-based draw and then an enhancement of stats. And on the right we have a card draw that I don't know about yet. Or do I? I don't think I know what that is yet, but the 2 drops of blood say something. And then the Carver. I don't fully understand the Carver yet. We have this item. This squirrel, but I don't... The one thing I don't know is whether the carving heads... What's that going to change? Because currently it's on a squirrel, right? Or the squirrel is on the porcupine ability. If I change it to one of the other heads, like I think I saw there was a wolf and a crow. I think that it's based on the card classification here. So this is like this is the wolf, that's the bug, that's the bird, bug, wolf, bug again, I think, stag. So I think that changing it would make it so that the squirrel no longer gets it regardless, and it changes to a class of card. That's good in some ways and bad in others. As I was realizing in one of the previous episodes, the squirrels are really powerful. They're useful not just as blockers, but they have further utility from that. So switching off the squirrel potentially helps, potentially hurts. I mean, every change is going to do that, of course. Do I go try and find out more about the thing I already know about? Do I try and go with the thing I'm completely sure of? Or do I try and do the thing I don't know basically anything about? I don't think we're making it to the end of this run. Thankfully, there's no more combats, but I guess we'll have to see the boss once before we probably beat it anyway. Let's go a little nutty and see what the mycologists are up to. Is the mushroom an indicator it's a card I already have? I think that's what the indicator is. What is this? Unkillable. When the card bearing the sigil perishes, a copy of it is created in your hand. Okay. Costs a lot of bones, but I also don't have anything to spend bones on. Is this another player? Strike each opposing space to the... So does it defend from... Does that mean it also defends 2 spaces with the porcupine? With the sharp quills? Or does it only... It attacks in 2 and defends in 1? This is interesting, and I feel like this is the one it wants me to pick because it's got probably the lore stuff behind it, I'm guessing. But the cockroach is probably the most utility. Or at least fills a spot that's currently vacant in my deck. I need something to eat bones, because currently I just pile up bones, which is not helpful. You found yourself among a grove of thick and pungent mushrooms. You squinted to see a figure through a thick cloud of spores. Did you bring us 2 of the same? We would like to experiment. Well, I don't think I have the option to back out of this, do I? I think this could get messy. Oh, you've just got a bone saw. Huh, okay. It's a little scary. Look away. Yeah, man, The mantis. It is now one. Did it combine the strength and... I think it was it a 1-1 before? Interesting. It still costs only 1 though. So the costs go down, but the card improves. Or the costs don't change, but the card improves. Huh. Okay. There's a lot going on here. New boss. A foul smell invaded your nostrils and caused your throat to seize. A hulking man sat by a brackish pond with his feet submerged in the dark water. He pulled a hook from the pile of rotting fish and rose to his feet. I am the angler. Go fish. Alright. This is a strong start. I do expect him to do some fuckery with it, whatever I play in the first round, though, because he also has the double cards here. So that will attack this guy in my next turn. It means I'm probably going to lose the Mantis God for the next round, but hey, this is a good strong start. Wait. Oh, right, because he does 6 right off the bat. Holy shit. Wow, that's a really powerful opener. Go fish. Bait bucket. Is that just a blocker? What is that? You know, maybe I shouldn't be so quick to put the squirrel out when I don't know what's on the other side. I just realized, like, there's nothing that forces me to play the squirrel on the same turn. I can pull another squirrel and then play 2 squirrels on the next turn or something like that. And since the squirrel isn't currently doing anything, there's really no reason to put it out early. As far as I know, there's no surprise attacks that would cause it to be useful to be in that slot when there isn't already something threatening. Oh. Great white. Alright. Go fish. Huh. I think I'm just gonna let that go. What do we have up there? A bait bucket as well? Well, if I don't kill it because there's a squirrel in that slot, then it's no big deal. I can burn out his shark on squirrels. However, if I just put a squirrel in front of every bait bucket, well, it has some upsides and some downsides. It means I can keep playing squirrels on the board and then sacrifice a bunch of them at once. If I sacrifice this squirrel, the bait bucket does nothing. It just sits there. And I can drop more squirrels in front of it. It's a landmine, but I don't have to step on it. It's my decision when it gets triggered. The problem is the more bait buckets he has waiting, the further I get into a place where I'm falling behind. If he has a whole row of bait buckets, any move I make that's aggressive suddenly puts me probably in bigger danger than the threat I pose. Because it's a 4-2. So anything I drop in that slot needs to do 2 damage or have issues. So I've actually got a very good deck for this because I've got multiple split attacks. And they do 2 damage. So I'm going to put the squirrel here and go. I'm going to play this squirrel. As long as I only trigger 1 bait bucket at a time, I can be ahead, is basically what I'm getting at here. So what I'm going to do is drop the squirrel. None of this triggers anything. I'm then going to sacrifice 2 of them. To play the pronghorn. And I'm going to play it here because it's going to do 1 attack that gives me a plus, and it's going to do 1 attack that triggers the bait bucket and then does 1 sequential damage to, or 2 sequential damage to the shark that comes up. Unless, of course, it's not always a shark. But we'll find out. It's a shark. So the great white won't do anything to me. Oh, never mind. I was already ahead. Huh. That double pronghorn is very, very powerful. Any damage multiplier is like, it's got its limitations, but it's pretty excellent when the amount of ticks, the amount of teeth I need to take is the same. Need a light? Your reward? A largely unimpressive specimen. Somehow, I think once it evolves, I would like to know what it evolves into. I do really like the Mantis God. It's very, very good. And having a duplicate feels good as well. I'm going to go with that. You considered one of the angler's catches as a meal, but the rank odor deterred you. Dinner would have to wait. Let me think. A frigid gust of wind billowed, unwelcome, into your lungs. The beauty of the falling snow failed to distract you from the chill in your bones. You had ascended to the snow line. Interesting. I've got a card draw and a cave. I think maybe we'll figure this out and decide what to do next time.